Okay, let's play some music. Amazing. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you, Nicola Dove. It's really an excitement time for me. I think we've been away for 2 months from this Women Empowerment series. And as I was plugging in this morning, I just find this thrill and this excitement, and I couldn't dream for someone better to get back to it than you, Nicola. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. I'm a big admirer of your work and what you're doing and what you're achieving in the world.
Me too. You know, you are such an admiration. I know it's evening time for you in New Zealand. It's early for us. I never go live this early, so it's just exciting to be up this night. Yeah, but it's 9 p.m. for you, isn't it? So we have like 12 hours difference, right?
Yes, it's 9 p.m. Thursday evening, and I believe you're on Thursday morning. So yeah,
yes, it's
the
9
weirdest one
me.
is when it's the day ahead and you're in the day prior. That's when it gets really
That's
strange.
true, because we don't know what day it is. So we are on Thursday. You are on Thursday as well. Yes. Yeah,
Still
that's what
Thursday.
It gets the confusion.
Few
That's
hours
what the
to go.
confusion is. Yes.
Yeah.
So let me say, if you introduce you, so Nicola Dove is a beautiful artist and an entrepreneur. And what I find incredible is your fascination with the energetics of creativity. And how you can integrate that, use that, you inspire others and use it in your work. So tell us a bit about you and what brought you to mix between your creativity and your side as a businesswoman.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, my background is in both worlds. I grew up in New Zealand with entrepreneur parents, but I was a very creative child, and as an adult, that creativity has my tool of choice has been a camera, and so I've been a freelance photographer for about 30 years. And that's led me in all sorts of adventures all around the world, whether that's working on film sets all around the world or creating art projects that travel around the world too, and everything in between, you know, working with NGOs in various parts of the world, all sorts of things. And I've always had businesses as well. And I feel so as an adult now, I mean, I had, you know, always had little side gigs as a child, and now I have an online coaching company, and I've always had various businesses over the years. And what I've come to understand is that I feel that entrepreneurs can learn a lot from the world of creativity, a lot from artists, and the things that I use that serve me well as an artist have been exactly the same in the world of entrepreneurship, which is inspiration, and innovation, and then balancing the other side of that, the flip side of that, which artists have to manage all the time, which is fear and doubt, you know, and as
fear and doubt
artists and as entrepreneurs.
So is it fear and doubt of themselves or how they will be perceived by others?
Both, but it's very vulnerable putting art out into the world. It feels like you're putting your soul on the line, especially when it's art that means something to you. And I think as entrepreneurs, and I know I've been through this with myself, especially when you have a personal brand, it's easy to hide behind another brand if you're.
That's true. Yeah.
But when it's your own name out there as well, there's a lot of vulnerability, and you have to do a lot of interior work to feel to really stick with it and not run and hide, and actually ride those waves of inspiration through, so that you can those beautiful inspirational ideas, and when we have them, they feel like we can do anything is possible, but very quickly we can land on the be dumped on the shores of self-doubt, and who am I to think that that this is a good idea, or that I can manage this, or that it's all been done before, and I feel like a lot of
all been done
beautiful ideas
before, yeah. That's feeling
have
of
all been
this
done before. All
COVID. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of good ideas end up on that crashed on the shore of self-doubt, I think, and it's a shame because that creative cycle that I'm very interested in has fear and as part of it.
Yeah.
That's part of the contract, because inspiration and creativity by its very nature takes you to the edge of what you already know, because it wants something, the next step in evolution, the next new thing, the next new idea, even if it's a small step. And of course that comes with fear when you're up against that line.
How did you come across that in your own life in the beginning, like as a photographer? Like, how did you feel like your photography will be loved, appreciated the same way you chose to take them?
Well, it's interesting. My relationship with fear changed a lot in my mid-20s. I was actually running a business in my mid-20s. I was living in my small hometown in the South Island of New Zealand. I was very far away from the kind of world of Hollywood and filmmaking, which is where I ended up as a photographer, and the world, the art world. I had trained as a photographer, but I wasn't being one, and because I was too scared, so I was playing it very safe. And I lost the hearing in my ear one day, and they said I might have a brain tumor, and they had lots of tests, and so that period of not knowing, that in between, it turned out I had just had what they call sudden unexplained hearing loss. So it wasn't a brain tumor, fortunately, but I still have the reminder every day. I'm still only have one ear that works. But that moment in between where I realized I wasn't listening to myself, I wasn't listening to that inner creative voice that was saying, come on, we've got things to do and things to say and images to make and places to go. And I was not listening to that. So I realized that in order to live the creative life that I wanted to the fullest, I had to step out of that fear. And I lost a bit of fear then. And so I feel like I've developed an understanding of what that is. But in a cycle of creativity, whether you're putting out a launching a new program or putting out an art project, there's always fear in that cycle of having the idea. Can I do it? There's always fear. So you just keep revisiting it, and you have to learn to manage it and help it become a friend in the back seat.
I love the way you're saying and how you're telling your story, because your story, I think, is really something that every woman needs to hear, because often when you get a problem or something that happens to you, you close off, right? But for you, it was like more an understanding that, hey, this is a reminder that I'm not listening to myself. So let me start doing that. And I think there is no more powerful way than to wake up than this one. How do you bring energetics to this? I mean, I know you talk about it without really mentioning it, but I wanted to really articulate it in a way that is understandable and it weaves through your own creativity.
It's a beautiful question. I think when we talk about the word creativity, often people think that that's a word that's only used to describe artists or people that paint. People often wouldn't describe themselves as creative, and I feel like I feel the opposite. I feel that we all are artists in many ways, because we are each creating our own life, right? With the choices that we make and the decisions we make, and whether we follow through on those inspirations or whether we don't.
I love that. We are all an artist. I think this is a sentence I want to repeat to whoever is watching us on replay. I know it's a little bit early to have a lot of people here, but I say hello to everyone who's with us, and whoever is watching us on replay. And I think what you just said is so important, is like everyone is an artist. We are an artist. And I wanted to really re-emphasize that. Sorry, I didn't want to. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, the truth is that we're all connected to deep creative universal energy that creates the world, that creates universes, that nature is the best artist of all, and we are a part of that. And so we're all creative, even if we don't call ourselves that. So that's, I guess, how I see humanity, is a constant evolution, and a sort of on mass, but also within ourselves and individually. So tapping into that unlimited, everlasting, ongoing creative energy is something that is available to all of us at any time. And the way I feel is that if we can, the more we can tap into that, that's where inspiration comes from, and that's when you feel like you've gotten into that current that's really yours, that's really uniquely your particular flavor, and each of us has our own. And so I really love helping and supporting people to tap into that, and that authenticity and that unique flavor of whatever their expression is of the universal creative forces that we all live amongst.
I love that.
And so, that's a powerful energy, and it comes with it's a ride, like I was saying, there's the cycles, and so learning how to ride those waves is really exhilarating.
It is. How, what can you give us, 1, 2, 3 things that you might do to help someone feel an artist? It's interesting talking about that. I'm just finished a book who's coming out in a month, actually, about the codes of leadership. And one of the codes is that you are an artist, which is, it's like music to my ear what we're talking about today, because
wow.
It is. It's like creativity. If you're not creative, you cannot be a leader. You need to lead with your inner artistic vibes that we often, suffocate because it just doesn't fit in the mold of what society feels that a professional should look like. And so how do you work with your clients, with, people that are around you to free them, right? Because they need to be liberated to get that artist out and the voice out and to speak out who they are really.
Yeah, that's so true, and I love that you're bringing creativity and artistry into that world, and that's my passion as well, as bringing I discussions around creativity into the world of entrepreneurship, because I feel like this. Especially in this world of that we're heading into, with a lot of technology, AI, authentic, creative, unique voices in the world, whether they are artists or business people or leaders, is more important than ever. And I feel very strongly that creative thought, creativity, and your unique creative thought is going to be the currency of the future. So in terms of what I do with clients, it's about I take them through a process, and I work with them to help them tap into that, what that feels like. So the inspiration feels a little bit different to everyone, so we really find out and articulate what that feels like, and then these visualizations and these practices that you can do that are taken from the world of being an artist, that as an entrepreneur you can start and bring a bit of that into your day. And the thing that I really feel is most valuable is not necessarily painting. I'm not talking about painting or drawing, although that might be something that's inspiring and relaxing to people. It's about finding out when they are most inspired, and for some people that's in the shower when they're relaxed. For other people it's walking in nature. For other people it's going to a gallery or an exhibition or seeing a film. And once you feel like you can identify that feeling, then we do develop practices to access that again. It becomes a little bit like a creative meditation. but really the power of the artist that I really want to bring into the world of entrepreneurship is that of observation. Artists look at the world, and I'm a photographer, so I've spent my entire life looking and seeing and noticing and observing. And so I think that's the aspect of creativity that anyone can bring in. It's just noticing things around you and then shifting your perspective, whether it's noticing beautiful things, that's easy. Although sometimes we're blind to it's easy to see the big things, we can be blind to the small little beautiful things. That's one thing. But you know, opening yourself up to seeing beauty, and even in unusual situations, because it's just about perspective. And one of the things that artists do is help us to see things in a different way. So if you think of a beautiful sculpture, a 3D sculpture, for example, you can view it from one angle and it will look like one thing, and you can walk around the other side and you get a different perspective and it will look like something else. And I like to apply that to all sorts of things in my life, even if it's just creative, just decision making day to day.
Yes.
It's not about painting a picture, it's actually about bringing creativity even to your everyday decision making and changing that perception and your perspective.
I love that. Let's see some of the chat. Heather is saying good morning. Hi, Heather. So good to have you. So good.
Hi, Heather.
And we have a nice comments here. The small beautiful thing, blind to the small beautiful things, and that's true. When you don't see things. We have also South Africa in the house. Hello, everyone. I didn't find the comments before, so it's good to have you, everyone. I love the way you put things, and I think creativity is not just when you do the art, it's really in everything you do. You can walk from here to the bathroom or from here to the kitchen and just do it in such an artistic way. It will, like pack some of the beauty in your own day. And we somehow don't, I don't know if it's, we don't, do we forget to do that, or we just get overwhelmed with, I think it's the problems and the things that haven't gotten solved, and we somehow focus our mind more in that than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of distraction now. You know, our attention is very valuable, and people pay a lot of money to get our attention, whether that's, you know, the likes on Facebook or the video games that kids play, that they get, you know, points for staying longer and points for coming back the next day. And there's a lot of things that want to grab our attention, and it's very hard to sometimes carve out a part of your day to be really mindful about noticing the small things. And I tend to try and just do it as I'm going, and I think that's a practice, you know. And it's not, there's this sort of talking about perspective and observing. It's one thing to be observing from the inside out, and we're noticing beautiful things outside of us, and that's a very, very powerful thing to do, and it's tied in with gratitude and appreciation and all of those beautiful things. But it's also about being the observer of ourselves as an artist, and as artists are often very self-aware, in the sense that they are very self-aware of their own processes in terms of what is interesting to them, and observing how things make them feel, because that's part of creating a unique piece of art as well, and using yourself as the vehicle for that. So there's also that other part of observation that I was talking about before, and that's observing our own reactions and noticing when you get little bits of inspiration, because they can be tiny little whispers. You don't often always get a big light bulb of an idea. And that's also what I help people work with, is like
tiny seconds. Yes. And I think you mentioned a lot of observing, and I think this is like related to your masterpiece, right? The beautiful video. You just, you know, if I wanted to play a little bit of it so that we can talk about it, if you're okay. I think such a masterpiece that you've done, and I was mesmerized with all those. I'm gonna let everyone see it before I express it. So I figure out how to share it. So I'm going to think there's a way I could share the screen, and we can just play a little bit of it if you are okay, Nicola. So let's just do that.
Of course.
Share the screen. I have it already here, and How long did it take you to make this beautiful video, this beautiful work, Observance?
Oh, the whole project was about 5 or 6 or 7 years altogether.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
it
can
was a
tell
long project.
because
Yeah.
it is. So let's play a bit of it. Let's see if we can actually see it. Let me know if we can see it.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
chifukwa cha ukulu wanu, mphamvu zanu zimene zikuonekera pakati pathu nthawi zonse. Tikuthokozani Mulungu.
臣至心归命，三清上圣，诸天高真，一切大神冥念垂慈，见纳祈祷，愿赐惠泽，普佑世
God of many
人，
names, I
愿赐
stand
恩
before you
光，
impelled by
转
visions
为
of
救
the
苦，
harmony of humankind.
天灾
In
有
all
效，
that we do, let us
人
remember the
祸不息，
uniqueness
国境
that is
清
you, that which is holy. In this time of distress
Ya Allah, Ya Rahman,
and
berilah kami
disharmony,
semua
let us
limpahan
seek to
karuniamu,
remember with
agar
your
kami
humble
bisa
help
hidup
that
penuh
all
damai
who
dengan
may see
siapapun.
our vision
Kami dapat membawa rahmat dalam kehidupan yang bahagia, menuju kedamaian abadi yang Kau janjikan. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, tunjukkanlah kami jalan yang benar.
I'm going to just stop it there because otherwise we'll stay there. It's so beautiful. It's like we wanna listen to it all the way. I was so mesmerized by how you were able to weave in all these languages. It made me feel so emotional because I heard Arabic, I heard all those sounds that I know, and I'm like, how were you able to just merge them in a way that it feels okay to hear them like that?
Yeah, I'm so glad that you felt something from it. It means a lot to me. So it's called Observance, and it's oh, I think I just lost you there. Oh,
No.
forget. Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's a photographic project that is about faith and spirituality and the connections between people rather than the differences between people. And so what I did was I photographed people from all different faiths from all around the world, using a technique that comes from early photography. So they're using long exposures. You know, the cameras where they put the hood over their head and all of that. You know,
That's what you
wooden
used.
box, right? Yeah. So it's a large format camera, and there's just one shot. You know, one frame.
That's
and
it.
Then you have to put another whole sheet of film, and then you take one picture. It's very slow and very considered and very meditative process. And so the exposures are 15 seconds long, and that's how long they also show up in the slideshow. So the same amount of time we see the image come up on the slideshow is how long the exposure was for. So it's long exposures, which gives it that shimmer. And what I asked people to do in that time was to be in a state of prayer, and really offer that that energy to the camera, and with the idea and the exploration, really, to see whether a viewer across time and space could feel that.
Wow.
And
so you were capturing the energy of the moment when they pray.
This was what I was most interested in, was the energy of that person, and can you feel it when you see it on the other side? not just me as the photographer, but the viewer further. And it is across time and space, because this was 15 years ago now. And so it's like a time warp, and that's why it's really interesting to come back and look at it now again after all these years. And I also recorded the sound of their prayers or mantras or songs or whispers and wove those together.
Okay, so the sound, were they from people in the photography, or are they different?
Yes.
Oh, they are?
No, they're the same.
Wow. So you were looking for the most spiritual person you can find. Did you travel the world to find all this human being?
So this is the beautiful thing about creative journeys, is that you start with a little thing and a little idea, and it evolves, and you experiment and you talk to people and you evolve. And through this process, I was living in London at the time, and so I got involved in the there's a lot of organizations that work across different religions, to multi-faith organizations, to create dialogue.
Yes.
And then eventually I had the opportunity to go. It happens only once every 6 years or something. There's a world forum for all the different heads of different religions to come together and different faiths, and they have a conference every 5 or 6 years. And I was able to go to one of those. It was in Japan, and I went with some friends and assistants, and we set up a studio there, and we were able to photograph most of the people that are in the show were made in that week. And so we had people from all over the world, all different religions and faiths, and also not just at that show, but I would follow the breadcrumbs of an introduction from one person to someone else, and these Jedis and these Sufi mystics, these people from all the leaders to just observers of different faiths. So it's really broad, and
I saw a lot of Muslims with different languages. So you had the Arabic, you had the Pakistani, other languages there, and they pray the same way but not the same way, and it's just incredible.
And the thing that I was wanting to explore underneath all of that is that and this is, I guess this ties into how I feel about creativity too, is that we all have different expressions of it, faith or creativity, but underneath we are all the same, in the sense that we all want to experience love and joy and happiness and peace and contentment and enlightenment, ultimately.
I want to, it's like there is peace, there is a in their eyes, it's like it's peace, feel home, like it's like it's just safe. And this is what I felt also you wanted to get across, is that feeling of it's all right, they all mixed. There is no need to separate between the roots of each one and each religion and each faith and each thought.
That's right. It's just the differences are just on the surface. You don't have to go very far underneath to find the unity and commonality amongst us all.
That's beautiful. Do you have another exciting projects like this in mind now, or in a dream, or happening, or? But when you do a masterpiece, you need to create another masterpiece. It's like every masterpiece comes after a masterpiece. This is an invitation.
Well, the masterpiece I can't completely agree. And the masterpiece that came after that was my 2 children. So that's probably my biggest creative project. And so since then, I have been working I was working already in the film industry, and alongside being a parent, and then also, setting up a coaching practice and online academy and things like that. So my creativity, again, I guess that's the thing. I feel like it's been expressed in different ways. It's still there, and it will come out again in a different way.
Yeah, we want it to. It's
when
like
when
I can
it's meant to.
see, you know,
Yeah.
like I work with women and I love to see how women empowerment and like women owning their space and just belonging get to express itself in different culture. And this is something you can do, because this is, you know, you're just an ideal person to observe, because you observe so well, and just put it together so the world can observe it with you. And you know, Morocco had just had a very devastating earthquake like 4 weeks ago. And we last week we wanted to visit, just with my daughters, to see. And what struck me is, how you see women in their basic of just having nothing yet showing the power of survival. And to me, like being able to capture this and capture the other, very professional in the meeting setup and everything, doing things. There is so much similarity, even if they feel so different, but we all come down to the same basics of, there is power in you, but if you know how to lead yourself with it, you can go very far. This is something.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's, I guess that's where my creative energy is going right at the moment, is helping other women tap into theirs, and helping them, supporting them, encouraging them to have the courage to follow whatever their creative dreams might be. And that is often in business or in life, or perhaps as an artist. It's about creating the life that you love. Yeah.
This has been so beautiful. I am so pleased and honored of this beautiful conversation. You are such an amazing woman and an incredible artist. And I want to see another beautiful masterpiece like this coming out. And I know you have it inside you. And we'll look forward to bringing it over to the world soon. Thank you so much for being here, Nicola. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you. Lovely to chat with you.
Lovely. Is it okay if I drop the link to this beautiful observance? It's something that we can share?
Please, yes, you can. Yeah, absolutely.
I will do that. Whoever wants to watch it. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And I'll see you soon.
All right.
Don't go. I'm just going to on the street.